Hello my dear students, how are you all? In this session we will be learning direct and indirect speech lesson. Now in this lesson we will be learning all the rules from how to change a direct speech into indirect speech. Now let us start with an example first. Now you can see here there is a girl Neelu, Neha and Nikki. Now first we have to understand who is the first person, second person and the third person. Now, if Neelu is talking to Neha, the exact words spoken by Neelu to Neha, here Neelu will be the first person, and because Neelu is the speaker and here Neha is the listener, so Neha will be the second person. So whatsoever conversation is going between Neelu and Neha, the exact words spoken by Neelu to Neha is called the direct word. The exact words spoken, okay? But if the third person, Nikki, this person is not present at that situation, in that scene, and if they are talking about Nikki, so Nikki will be the third person. If, for example, Neelu is telling to Neha that I am leaving at 6 p.m. These are the exact words spoken by Neelu. But if these words are modified and the same message if Neha gives to Nikki that Neelu will be leaving at 6 p.m. So these are the modified words. So the modified words is called indirect speech. Now there are rules to change from direct to indirect speech. What are all the 6 steps? The first, we have to identify the sentence. Now how can we identify sentence? We have to identify the sentence, whether it is a present tense sentence, past tense sentence, interrogative type of sentence, imperative type of sentence. So after completing the first step, second we will see the change of reporting verb. Now in a sentence there will be a reporting verb. For example, if I see this example, Sheila said I am leaving at 6 p.m. So in this sentence, this is called reporting verb. Said. So the very first thing you identify in this sentence is reporting verb. So your said is the reporting verb. Second, reported speech. Now the exact words which are there in inverted commas is called reported speech. The words which are enclosed in the inverted commas are called reported speech. Now, after change of reporting verb and reported speech, we change the pronoun. So you will find the pronoun in this sentence, that is I. We also have to change the pronoun when we change from direct to indirect speech. Next is change of tense. We have to identify what type of tense it is in the sentence. Whether it is a simple present, then we have to change it to simple past. Next, we have to change the inverted commas, that is, we have to remove the inverted commas and we have to add the conjunction that to indirect speech. Now, if I see the example, now we change from direct to indirect speech. How we will change? First we will write Sheila. Reporting verb, Sheila said. Then what we have to do? We have to cut the inverted commas and we have to add that. Sheila said that. We have to change the pronoun. So I will become she because it is a female. Sheila said that she and. Then we have to change the tense from present tense to past tense. So we will say Sheila said that she was leaving at 6 p.m. So in this way we change a direct sentence into indirect sentence. Now students, we will see that if the reporting verb is in past tense, what do we do? If the reporting verb is in past tense, then the verb in the quoted words, these are the quoted words, then the verb in the quoted words will also change. How will it change? For example, can you see the first one? Simple present tense sentence will become simple past tense sentence. So we have to change the verb in the quoted words. Now if I say, so sentence will become Shyam said. We will remove the quotation marks and we will add that. Shyam said that. We will change the pronoun. Shyam said that his parents. R will change into verb. Past tense. Shyam said that his parents were in Mumbai. Clear? So simple present tense will become simple past tense. Again, let us look at the second one. Present continuous tense sentence will change into past continuous tense. For example, Sheena said, I am going to play. Here the action is in progress and going. Now, again the reporting verb is in past tense. So we will change the verb in the quoted words. So the sentence will become, Sheena said. What we have to do? We have to cut the quoted mark, quotation marks, and we have to add that. After that, what step we will follow? We will change the pronoun. So Sheena said that she. Then we have to change the tense from present to past. So am will become Sheena said that she was going to play. So here, continuous will remain continuous and simple present will remain simple past. The verbs will remain the same in simple present and simple past. So in this way we change from direct to indirect speech. Now let us look at the third one. Present perfect tense sentence will change to past perfect tense sentence. For example, Meena said India has won the match. Now by looking at the helping verb has, we have to change into past perfect helping verb. So has will become had. So the sentence will become Meera said. What we have to do? We have to change the quotation mark to that. Meera said that India had won the match. So here we change from present perfect to past perfect only. Also students, while changing from direct to indirect speech, if the reporting verb is in past tense, there are some other changes we can make in the sentence. If the sentence is carrying will, we can change to would. May, we can change to might. If it is these, we have to change to those. Same goes with can, could, now, then, here, then, this, that, ago, before. The sentence is having the word tomorrow, we can change to next day in indirect speech. If it is tonight, we can say that night. So there are some other changes which we will learn further. Now students, after learning the reporting verb in past sentence or past tense, we will see in which situation we can change the pronouns. So the very first statement here is, when the speaker is in first person, pronoun does not change. All the other changes will take place in the sentence by changing from direct to indirect. But when the speaker is in the first person, pronoun will not change. For example, I said I have eaten. So we will apply all the changes but not the pronoun. So I said. Said is the reporting verb, so we will keep as it is. We will cut the quotated marks and we will say that. I said that. I will remain as it is, and here we will change the tense from have to had. I said that I had eaten. When the speaker is in the first person, I am the first person and I am speaking to someone else, I will not change the pronoun. Next, when the speaker is in second or the third person, whenever the speaker is second or the third person and is talking about someone else, then in that situation also pronoun will not change. For example, you said he has eaten. Now, second and the third person is talking about someone else. So, here, he will not change. He will only change the tense. So, the statement will become, you said that he had eaten. So whenever you get a sentence of direct speech, you have to identify first that whether the statement is carrying first person, second person or the third person, or the second person or the third person is talking about someone. After learning where to not change the pronoun, here we will see in which situation we can change the pronoun. So let us see the first example. You said I have eaten. Whenever the speaker is in second or the third person and is talking about himself or herself, then in that situation the pronoun changes. So let us see the direct sentence. You said I have eaten. We will make all the changes over here. You said that. The pronoun here I will change into you. We will change the tense. Have will become had. Eaten. You said that you had eaten. Look at the second one. When speaker is a proper noun, if in a direct sentence you get the proper noun, for example, Asif. Here Asif is a proper noun, a name of a boy. In that situation also the pronoun changes if that proper noun is talking about himself or herself. So in this situation, Asif said, I have eaten. Asif is talking about himself only. So here also pronoun changes. So the statement will become, Asif said that. Here pronoun I will change into he. Had will change into had. Asif said that he had eaten. So students, I hope you have understood where to change the pronoun and where to not change the pronoun from direct to indirect speech. Now students, let us do some sentences for your better clarity. First one, Maria said I have been to London. We have to change this direct speech into indirect speech. So we have to make all these changes, all the rules we have to apply in this sentence. So the sentence will become, Maria said. After said, what we have to do? We have to cut the quotation marks and we have to add that. Maria said that, then we have to change the pronoun, then we have to change the tense, the reporting verb. Maria said that she has been changed into had, that she had been to London. Clear? Next. Leela said, I am going to Goa. Here as you can see, this is a present continuous type of sentence. So first step we have to identify. Second step we have to change the reporting verb. Third we have to change the pronoun. Then we have to change the verb in the quotation marks. Then we have to change all the rules. Leela said, we have to cut the quotation marks and we have to add that. Leela said that, we have to change the pronoun she and we'll change it to was going to Goa. Leela said that she was going to Goa. And the last sentence, Kishore said, I will visit my grandfather tomorrow. Here we have to change the direct speech into indirect. Kishore said that, I will change into, Kishore said that he, we will change into he would visit his, I will change into his grandfather tomorrow, will change into the next day. So I hope you have understood how to make the changes from direct to indirect statements. Now students, we will learn imperative sentence. We all have learned imperative orders, request or advice. If the statement is carrying an order, we will change the reporting verb said to ordered. If the statement is carrying request, we will change the reporting verb said to request. And if the statement is carrying advice, we will change the reporting verb said to advised. Now let us look at examples. The teacher said to children, do not talk in class. By looking at this example, what do you feel? That this type of sentence is of imperative type of sentence. Why? Because the teacher is giving order to the class. So here we will make the necessary changes. Here said is the reporting verb. We have now the statements will become the teacher said. Reporting verb will change into ordered. The teacher ordered the children not to talk in class. Clear? So if you find that imperative type of sentence, we have to change the reporting verb. Okay? Look at the second example. The doctor said to Rohit, stop eating spicy food. Now what is doctor doing over here? The doctor is advising Rohit that we should not eat spicy food. So here the sentence will become the doctor, here said is the reporting verb, will change into advised. The doctor advised Rohit to stop eating spicy food. Next, Uma said to Sushma, please give me a glass of water. What do you think? What type of sentence it is? It is an request, advice or order. Here Uma is requesting to Sushma. So again we will change the reporting verb over here. Uma requested Sushma to give her a glass of water. So students, if you find imperative type of sentence, you have to just make a change. You have to change the reporting verb to ordered, advised or requested. So students, after learning imperative sentences, now we will learn reporting universal truth and habitual actions. This also we have studied in previous lessons, that if the statement is carrying universal truth or the habits or the actions of people, then there will be no change. Remains unchanged in indirect speech. So there will be no changes from direct to indirect speech. For example, if we look at the sentence, the teacher said the sun rises in the east. By looking at the statement, we identify the sun rises in the east is the truth. So, if we find that the sentence is of universal truth, there will be no change in indirect speech. For example, the teacher said that the sun rises in the east. So there will be no change from converting from direct to indirect speech. Same way goes with habits of the people. Tina said couple always speaks politely. So what is the habit of couple? That he always speaks politely. So here we need to know that this is the habit of couple. So again there will be no change in the indirect speech. So the statement will become, Tina said that couple always speaks politely. So I hope you have understood that if the statement is carrying universal truth or habitual actions of people, we don't make any changes from direct to indirect speech. Now students, let us look at some more examples to understand it better. We have to change these sentences into indirect speech. So look at the very first sentence. My grandmother said, honesty is the best policy. By looking at this statement, I feel that this statement is a universal truth because honesty is the best policy. So in this sentence, what we have to do? If there is a universal truth, we don't have to make any changes in indirect speech. So the statement will become, my grandmother said that honesty is the best policy. Okay, now look at the second one. Hema said to her father, please give me some money. By looking at the sentence, we identify that what type of sentence it is. Okay, here what is Hema doing to her father? Hema is requesting her father. So this is an imperative type of sentence. So we have to change the reporting verb here. So the answer will become, Hema requested her father to give her some money. Okay. Now look at the last one. Bela said, I am busy. This is a simple present tense sentence. So we have to change the reporting verb, pronoun and the verb. So the statement will become, Bela said that she was busy. So students, I hope you have understood how to change from direct to indirect speech. So students, after learning universal truth and habitual actions, now we will study about reporting interrogative sentences. Last one we had studied how to change the reporting verb into of imperative sentence. Now we will study reporting verb of interrogative sentence. What do you mean by interrogation, students? We have learned in the previous lessons to interrogate, to ask questions. So what steps we have to follow while changing from direct to indirect speech? The very first thing we have to change the reporting verb from said to ask or inquire. The next step will be question mark to full stop. If the statement is carrying question mark, automatically you will understand that that statement is of interrogative type of statement. So while changing from direct to indirect, we will remove the question mark and we will add the full stop. And the last change we will do is, we will change the interrogative form of a sentence to the assertive form of a sentence. Now let us look at the sentence. Rama said to Sudha, where are you going? We have seen the question mark, so we have identified that this is an interrogative type of sentence. So what changes we will do over here? First we will change the reporting verb said to ask or inquire. So this answer will become, Rama asked. Because Rama is asking Sudha that where are you going? Rama asked Sudha that where she, you will change into she, where and are will change into was, like where she was going, and then full stop. So I hope students you have understood how to change from direct to indirect speech in interrogative sentence. First we have to change the reporting verb, next we have to change the question mark to full stop, and then we have to change the form from interrogative to assertive type of sentence. Now students, let us look at some more examples to understand it better. We have to change these direct sentence into indirect sentence. So first, the dentist asked, Polly, do you brush your teeth daily? By looking at this sentence, we have identified that this is an interrogative type of sentence because we have a question mark at the end. Also, here the reporting verb is asked. Now, sometimes we don't have to change the reporting verb because here already the reporting verb is written asked. So we will keep it as it is. So the statement will become, the dentist asked Polly that if she brushed her teeth daily. And then you have to add a full stop after interrogative form of a sentence. Second, Meenu said to teacher, may I sit here? Again we have a question mark at the end of the sentence, means this is an interrogative type of sentence. So first we have to change the reporting verb. Meenu said to teacher. So here it will become Meenu asked the teacher if. I will become she. May will become might. She might sit. Here will become there. If she might sit there. Now the last one. Mother said to Ritu, why are you disturbing me? Again it is an interrogative type of sentence. So here we will change the reporting verb said to ask. So the statement will become, Mother asked Ritu why she was disturbing her. So students, I hope you have understood how to change the direct statements into indirect speech. So I hope students you have enjoyed this session and learned how to change from direct to indirect speech. We will meet in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.